Hello and welcome back to yet another edition or episode of Football Tussle.
Edition?
I am CIC, edition, episode, what you want to call it. I'm CIC, there you go. I'm followed or joined as usual by my usual Tusslers, Grand Champ and A Footy.
Yes, sir.
Hello. And yes, it's been an action-packed, very interesting weekend, and we've had yet another Prem manager sacking. So I think we start no further than Norwich versus Everton there. And who wants to roll off with that game there with all the drama?
Well, I mean, the writing was on the walls for Benitez when you don't lose that game, man. You don't lose against Norwich. Like I was part of the pro Benitez, like, he's gonna do a good job at Everton. Boom, boom, bam.
Me too.
Exactly. And then next thing, my guy starts, we thought he found James and Gray and Townsend, and they were scoring. People were picking these players in fantasy.
Yeah, it started very well, yeah.
But I feel like everything just sort of went down. And to be fair, I can't blame Benitez for it. The guy only got $2 million to spend to better the squad. He had major injuries to like big players like DCL, Decore, Allen. Even, dare me to say this, Yeremina for Everton is a big player. And yeah, man. So what do they expect? Listen, right now, I wouldn't manage Everton right now.
Yeah, they're a mess. What's it called? I think the nickname that's going around social media is Agent Rafa. His job was to destabilize and the Toffees, get them almost to relegation or struggling. He's got them halfway there, but as you said, he was walking the plank from right at the beginning. Yeah. It shows you once again that these are the owners of certain clubs. They're not actual fans of the club. They treat it as a business, because if the owner of Everton really loved Everton and stuff, he would never have ever thought in a million years that he would employ a manager that manages rivals.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna cut you on that. I'm gonna cut you on that. I'm gonna cut you on that one, because now you've mentioned that CIC. Yeah, I just heard recently, maybe today, that they're bringing Wayne Rooney to the club as a manager. So does that correspond with what you're saying?
That's different.
Bringing a manager, you understand?
Rooney's different because Rooney's originally from he was Everton boy there, so that's different. Rafa managed Liverpool. It's a bit like what's it called? Liverpool getting ex-Man United player to manage Liverpool there, or ex-Man United manager to manage Liverpool. Yeah, you don't do that. You're always gonna be up against it from day one. They don't like you.
No. I believe
that's very important.
He was the right appointment. But how are you going to get a manager?
Right appointment for what?
Listen, this guy's won league titles, he's won Champions League and all sorts. You're telling me he's not good enough to manage Everton?
I'm not saying it. I didn't say he's not good enough.
No. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. You're saying
I didn't say that.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is, Benitez he's had the pedigree. Yes, I agree with that. What's it called? Maybe his best days are behind him, but I'm not talking about he's not good enough. What I'm saying is the owner of Everton should know because he's more a businessman than an actual Everton fan.
So that's why I mentioned Rooney. He's an ex-player of Everton. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned what you manage them. That's fine. That's fine. Because he has an affiliation with them.
The Rooney one is fine, but what I want to know is, are you telling me that the manager? Are you telling me that the chairman made the wrong appointment, getting Benitez?
Yes, because
you're
bringing in a guy that 99% of the fans hate.
That doesn't matter.
You know his link with the rivals. Why would you do that?
You're seriously.
It didn't make no sense. I know he had the pedigree. We're not talking about his pedigree. I'm not talking about his pedigree. I'm not talking about his pedigree. I'm talking about that he was an accident waiting to happen. It was always going to be tough there because of the background.
We know that. But what I'm saying is, you're saying that the manager, you're saying the chairman was wrong to appoint him. I don't think that was the wrong appointment.
Yes.
I don't think it was the wrong appointment. I don't think so. I don't think.
What I would say with that Benitez is just had one good season, to be honest. One good club really in Premier League that's done well, and that's Liverpool. Every other club
he done well at Newcastle. He done well at Newcastle with the resources he had.
He done well at Newcastle. With no resources. At Valencia, he had no resources. They were buying his players, David Silva. They had people like Pablo Ayman, all sorts. He won the league title with Valencia, bro. Put some this guy's name.
That was at Valencia.
No. At Liverpool, he didn't win the league, but man got them trophies. Like, he's a manager of Liverpool.
No, for Liverpool fans like myself and majority, or if not all of them, Rafa's a legend at Liverpool. He will never be forgotten there. But what I'm saying is that because of his affiliation with Liverpool, if I was owner of Everton, I would have never appointed him, regardless of his pedigree or not, because of his affiliation. You have to take that into consideration, especially when things go wrong.
So listen, if players could move from rival clubs to rival clubs, I'm sorry, managers could do the same.
Which country does that happen?
What do you mean? It happens here. Van Persie left Arsenal to Man United. It was a success.
It hardly happens here. It hardly happens here.
Forget that.
Honestly, Everton haven't replaced David Moyes. It's just like what's going on at Manchester United. They haven't replaced David Moyes.
They haven't replaced him.
All the managers they've brought in has been the same. You understand? It's just madness.
Well, they tried Ancelotti. Ancelotti spent money like water, and then as soon as we mentioned Ancelotti in our early episodes. What's it called? He came in with an ugly. The example of him coming in with an ugly girl. Next minute, he sees a nice girl, which is Real Madrid, and next minute he's off. He's left the ugly girl at the bar, which is Everton. So we know Everton have tried a lot of things. They spent over £500 million in that process. Exactly. And that's why Benitez was starting on a losing hand because of previous managers indulging us on big spending like Iwobi.
So many different players, from different managers. They're still there. They're still there too now.
But then Rafa's not helped himself also. Rafa has got the director of football to be leaving at Everton. He's got the head of scouts leaving. He's got some guy from the medical I think leaving. He's got Lucas Dini that left. If the owners knew that they were going to sack Rafa anytime soon, hold on. There's too many errors there, especially from the owners. It's a mess. Who wants to go and manage Everton?
It's chaos at Everton, and I'll probably finish it off with what Mourinho said at Man United.
What's that?
Heritage, football heritage. The football heritage that each manager keeps getting at that club is a joke. Is an absolute joke. And every manager keeps buying howlers, and the howlers upon howlers upon howlers upon howlers.
Then you look at the squad. You look at the lineup there. You got Pickford in goal. He's average. I know he's England's #1, but he's average. You got Coleman. That the best days are behind Coleman now. Godfrey, our old friend Godfrey, that plays virtually the whole back line and maybe in midfield. Michael Keane is another dodgy one with the own goal there. You bought the new Ukrainian left back that had a mare of a game. Anthony Gordon is young. Decore is decent. Gomez too slow and giving the ball away in that game. Gray has done well there. Rondon, I don't know why he started when you had Richarlison on the bench, or maybe he didn't want to rush him back there still. He came on and scored. And then obviously you got Calvert-Lewin that eventually started his first game in God knows how long because of injury. And then you had Mina on the bench. Another one that's questionable because we want to move on, obviously. We don't want to stay too long with that. But who sanctioned the El Ghazi, loan move with a possible buy clause there? They said that's supposed to be upstairs.
Is it buy clause?
They said, a loan move with a maybe buy on at the end of the 6 months.
No chance.
I don't know if that was Benitez or upstairs.
No chance.
But definitely we'll move on quickly. We'll talk about who do you think will take over. We heard about they've offered a job to Martinez, the former coach, the Belgian manager.
You don't go there. You don't go from Belgium.
Not in the World Cup.
I'm Wayne Rooney. Is that
Wayne Rooney is more of a
Wayne Rooney will be going to all the strip clubs in Merseyside.
He's bringing some shares to it or something.
Well, they bring some old women as well. But
exactly, he might go see the old lady he was with when he was 16. You know, bring it back.
Yeah, there you go. Still, and then we got the Donkey Ferguson, that Duncan Ferguson, that second choice. Rooney their first choice, and possibly
Big Sam. Maybe Big Sam.
Oh no! He's been there and done that. There's no chance they go back to that crap.
Bring Big Sam.
Maybe their outsider is Frank Lampard, but they're in a hell of a mess. They're in a hell of a mess.
I won't take that. I won't take Everton. I won't take Everton job. If I'm a manager, if you're not giving me at least 100 million to spend like other managers, I'm not taking.
Yeah, but you won't get you're not gonna get. So you're gonna say I'll take it, but you have to promise me 100 million for for summer transfers.
Facts. All
right. Well, we'll see how that goes. But let's have a quick mention of Norwich that finally put Benitez to the sword. That was Norwich's first win. That was Norwich's first win for a while, and well done to them because we thought they were doomed. But now they're showing a little bit of fight, scoring two goals in the space of how many minutes was it?
Is that
2 goals in the space of 2 minutes?
You have to take advantage of teams like this. That's
no, they don't. That's no fight, man. Everton are poor right now, and they poor.
But are you telling me?
That's no fight.
I know. They're poor, but who's poorer, Norwich or Everton? In terms of form, I think Everton's got worse form anyway.
There you
only
go.
1 win in 13 games.
There you go. Says it all.
The last 13 games.
It says it all. No fight.
Well done to Norwich to get the Canaries got a little bit of singing there, chirping in the morning there in the 5 a.m. in the morning there on the trees there to put themselves in. Well, they're still going, but at least they give themselves a chance there. They're favourites, yes, to go down, but they're giving themselves a little bit of a chance there because, as I said, Watford are not great themselves. But has anyone else got anything left to say regarding the two teams there, or shall we move on to our next topic?
You could probably move on to the next one. You could probably move on to the next one.
We'll see who takes over on the interim or full-time basis in the next few days for Everton. But let's move on to the next part there still, which is Villa versus Man United and Coutinho. Welcome back.
Welcome back. There
you go.
I was so disappointed at Manchester United after they beat them in the FA Cup. I was expecting them to follow up with another win.
Relax your horses.
Listen, hold on. You need to. Even though as
United got lucky in the FA Cup game. United got lucky.
But you have to remember, PD did say that was Man United's second best performance of the whole season. Even though me and you, Grand Champ, said that was PD speaking, I don't know, maybe a bit drunk or who knows, because Man United were lucky in that game. And once again, go on, PD. What's it called? I want you to go a bit more in depth, and then obviously, Grand Champ can come in afterwards. What do you have to say a bit more about that game there?
There was a couple of changes, like we said, Rashford didn't start in that game, so to be honest, I wasn't expecting the young Greenwood to perform, but that game was just strange, he was winning 2-0 and all of a sudden Villa came from nowhere and it was just disappointing, it's stressful as a United supporter or fan or whatever, it's disappointing. You just have to keep it up.
Music to my ears. Music to my ears.
Oh yeah, and music to mine there still.
I think United.
What about you, Grand Champ? Then
United are a mess. I love saying this every episode as well. It's beautiful. Listen, let me tell you.
It is.
So you look at United, the guys changing formation, but I would say 3 things I noticed. Look at what happens with Fernandes, Bruno when there's no Ronaldo.
When Ronaldo's not around,
he comes to life. And I saw the record there in the Premier League since Bruno came to the Premier League. Only Salah and Kane has outscored him in the Premier League since he came to the Premier League.
He's top stats.
And that's the player United chose to suppress by buying Ronaldo to come in. Don't get it twisted. Like I said, we all said on this show before, Ronaldo's a vain signing. So that's one. Number 2, your boy Sancho is finished. This season is a write-off. If he makes it to the World Cup or whatever it is, he's being picked on by name. Because
him and Rashford are in the same boat.
Definitely, because
that's what I'm saying.
Because what Elanga did, the young kid Elanga did in that game, even though I was like, wow, he could run. Sancho ain't even gonna. What happened to Sancho's pace? The guy can't even run no more.
I don't know.
That's why I was so surprised when I didn't see Sancho in that game.
Yeah, I
don't know. Sancho came on.
I don't know if
he didn't start the game. I was so surprised. Under a new manager, I think it would be a new start, new fresh. Do you understand? New ideas.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if that shirt. I don't know if the shirt of Man United has got extra weight on it. That made him made his boots stay in the grass, so he can't run anymore. Because it looks like he's lost. I don't know if that shirt's even kryptonite. Because it looked like from being a super young player that had it all at Dortmund to Clark Kent in a suit and tie, where he looked like so plain. He's lost like 2 or 3 yards of pace. He can't go past no one.
He can't go past no one.
Instead of being 22 or whatever, he looks like he's 42.
What even makes it mess is that they bring it on and everything goes topsy-turvy. United draw the game 2-2. Like, shocking performance. And then the thing, Maguire, I think Lindelof and Varane, even though they consider 2 goals, Lindelof and Varane is a better pairing with Lindelof and Maguire.
For this game, we can't blame Maguire.
No. I'm not blaming Maguire, but I'm just saying.
But even so, I want to say about Varane himself. Varane, I think, has during his injury-prone new season here, debut season, I think he's maybe played 8 Premiership games, and I think there's only 1 clean sheet in that sequence.
Yeah, 1 clean sheet.
It's hardly like he's improved it. Maybe they should have stayed with Jones and Varane. Who knows? But at the end of the day, there's been no improvement from Man United since Grandad has taken over. And another thing I've heard is that because he's an interim, I've heard that they're saying that they might not even sanction any transfers this month because he's an interim manager.
But why would you? The United squad is good enough to get something out of it. So they're wasting time. Just like look at what other teams.
Go and look at what you just said now. There's nothing like it's changed. Like Steven Gerrard is just coming to Aston Villa just under a month, and the excitement, the vibe, they all think it's a change there somehow. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just dry United. Like it's just madness. Honestly.
But anyway, we can give word that is true. That's what it is. Maybe the age. Gerrard's still a bit younger. Younger and more hungry in management. This Grandad, who has never managed a team of that ilk before.
The guy was in a retirement home and he couldn't believe his luck when they called him on the phone.
Okay, guys.
He ran.
Okay, guys. Forget the Grandad. Okay, I'm airing. I've these rumors. I don't know. Like there's several players, at least 4 or 5 players want to leave Manchester United. Do you think it's true, guys? Honestly, forget banter.
I think so. Yes. Ronaldo didn't come for that rubbish. He said in an interview last week that he didn't come there to be battling for 6th or 7th. He said at least he came there to be battling for the title. He said at minimum he would be 3rd place. Anything below that, he didn't expect that kind of nonsense. So I think Ronaldo is even, having reflections about maybe next summer moving on, because he doesn't want to be, I tell you for sure, not playing Europa League football next season. No chance.
Martial wants to leave as well. Martial wants to leave.
Martial even refused to be on the bench. He refused to be on the bench. That shows you another mess that's going on internally. If players refuse to play on the bench, you find them. But moving on quickly, we know about Man United. We've spoken to them about their mess nearly every episode. So let's quickly move to Aston Villa quickly and talk about ex-Liverpool, maestro Coutinho. Even though I said on social media, I would have loved Coutinho to return to Liverpool because he's much better than any kind of midfielder we got that's offensive there. Even though they turned on me because of what happened. But I just said take him back on loan because he still has that. He still has that sniff. He still. What did they say about They say I forgot the saying there about form is temporary and club is permanent. And that's what that is.
When he came on,
he changed Ramsey's on fire there for Villa.
He changed the game. No, I was trying to add to what you said. When he came on, the first goal that even Ramsey scored, that was Coutinho's run and all that stuff. And then fell to Ramsey. And then the second one, he saw, and then it was at the end of it. Like, let's listen. I can't understand
that class. Yeah,
I can understand how Barcelona couldn't find a place for Philippe Coutinho. I just
can you imagine?
I just can't understand.
You wonder about some of these so-called super clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid, that struggle to find a formation or a place for such talented players like Coutinho. But anyway, it happens in football. We're not shocked anymore. But well done to Coutinho to working himself with a good goal there and coming off the bench. And well done for Gerrard, because, as I said previously, in the FA Cup, they should not have lost. And at least they got something in this game, because it would have been cruel if they lost back-to-back games against Man United.
Yeah. And we did predict Coutinho would come to Premier League. If you guys could remember at the beginning of the episode, I think a couple of episodes earlier.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. What's it called? So
I was hoping Arsenal.
We'll see what happens there. Because
Arsenal,
yeah, Arsenal were sniffing around, but I think it's the wages and other issues there. What's it called? That didn't prevent them from getting him anyway. But moving on to our next game there still, which was the biggest game of the weekend, which was Man City versus Chelsea there. Or what I say, Man City versus a toothless, clueless Chelsea. We've been down this route quite a few times in the last I think 5 to 6 weeks now. As I said, where Chelsea's machine is now completely out of service. It's sorting for new parts, and you wonder, how can a team be sourcing for new parts or seeking new parts when they spent over 200 to 250 million on offensive personnel?
Yeah,
it's shocking.
It's very shocking. And I'll just say this: I watched Chelsea, and it's like Chelsea are so disjointed, and even when they win games or whatever, they look disjointed. Like, I don't see no flow, like link-up plays where I'm saying, "Oh wow, this guy's good on form." Or I think though in the bunch of individuals, the system doesn't fit all the players in there.
Wow, it sounded like Man United now.
The system doesn't fit the attacking players. The system fits the defensive style of play.
And guess what? Goals win games. So you make it to fit attacking. Goals win games. You ain't gonna win no game with your attacking. It's like, bro, you play fantasy, bro. The clean sheet could go anytime, but once the player scores, it's always there. Same thing as Chelsea. If the clean sheet could go, you keep defending, and if you concede, that's it. You've lost the game. But if you're winning the game 1-0 and the team scores and it's 1-1, at least you know you got a backup. It's a draw.
It's true.
I think there's too much pressure on Tuchel. I think if we let him do his thing.
What pressure?
What do you mean do his thing?
Let him be defensive if he wants to be defensive.
No, you can't.
Let him be defensive. We want attacking football, but if the manager wants to be defensive,
he's gone successful with it. He's gone stale to win.
He's just been crowned the best manager of the year, I think. Why is he being crowned?
Which I think was fortunate. Which I think is fortunate. I would have given that to what's it called, Mancini there for winning the Euros. But quickly moving to what you're saying about Chelsea, for me, as I've said previously, and Grand Champs agreed with me, and I think A40 as well sometimes. Chelsea have too many nice players on the ball, which are not goal threats.
Definitely.
Hudson-Odoi.
You sound like a broken record saying this now.
Pulisic. What's it called? Timo Werner. What's it called? You have to ask why did Ziyech and Pulisic start in that game? When I was surprised when I saw Mount on the bench. Timo Werner, even though we've nicknamed him Timo Wasteman or whatever Werner, but in the last couple of games that he's started, he's got a goal threat and he's been dangerous. And Lukaku. Even Lukaku's turning on him now, saying that Lukaku could hold up the ball to save his life. And now Lukaku has to hold his tongue because obviously he's not in a good place with the Chelsea fans at the moment. He doesn't want to be fined £500,000.
I think it's like a little thing going there because I feel like Tuchel's playing for the sake of it because he doesn't it's a big boy player. That's why I saw Tuchel's like the attacking players, blah blah blah.
So you mean that? Are you saying that Tuchel's made a mistake, or whoever bought Lukaku's made a mistake on bringing him back? He's too bulky.
I will give you guys this about Tuchel.
Does he need a partner like Martinez that he had in Inter Milan to help him?
I'll give it to you guys. Tuchel, go on. Tuchel, yeah, his attacking style, I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. You understand? He's the one that found Pulisic, I think, and in Borussia Dortmund. And I'm not really a big fan of Pulisic. He's a good player, but he's just not my type of kind of player. He's not.
He's a good player. He's just injury prone. He's injury prone.
No. But anyway, he's not doing what he needs to be done. You guys have just mentioned, you guys have just mentioned the attacking players, and these guys keeping faith in Pulisic. He keeps playing him, and he's not.
Who's performing in the attack? Lukaku.
None of them.
There you go.
But they are missing. They are missing the width of Reece James and Chilwell. That's affecting their game as well, because they're a bit like Liverpool, where they rely on their wing backs to help them with the width. But let's move on because of time permitting there still. Man City, we don't need to say too much about them. It's a runaway train, and it just keeps going faster and faster. Is that 13? I think that's either 12 or 13 victories in a row there still. So they're running away with it anyway. Let's now just fly through the remaining fixtures. Starting on Friday, we had the A23 derby, which is Brighton versus Palace. As usual, last minute goals to try and to always involve in Brighton Palace games, and it's happening again where Palace looked like even though they were poor in that game, they took the lead and looked like they were going to hang on, and then they blew it. Anyone else want to say anything about that game?
No,
all right then. And then we're moving on to Saturday's games. There we got we had Burnley versus Leicester postponed because Burnley once again COVID nonsense. For how many times now?
And they got the game postponed today as well now.
So that I don't know how many games is going to be left for them still at this rate. Yeah, and then we got who we got on, and then we had we've done Norwich, Everton. So Wolves continue to go about their business quietly. Their brilliant performance.
I keep telling you guys about Wolves. That manager, boy, manager of the year for me, or not manager of the year.
Definitely. He should be in the lunch.
He should be in the top three. When they do manager of the year,
definitely.
He's got them playing.
And then Ward-Prowse, best free kick specialist in the country, if not in Europe. What a free kick! Look how far that was.
What a goal!
It's the technique as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. There you go. And then on move on. We've done the Villa Man United game there. Then moving on to Sunday there, we got Liverpool back to winning ways there against Brentford. They totally dominated that after their two display against Arsenal first leg. I like seeing that Fabinho stepping up and stuff, because we need all those other players to step up. Fabinho's
been on form lately.
Salah, Mane, no problem.
Well, Liverpool. We'll just watch that space, because the semi-final second leg on Thursday is very important for Liverpool to get through. It's important for Arsenal as well still. But then, well done for them to return into winning ways. Quick point on Brentford. They've now conceded 7 in the last 2 games. They need to be careful, but luckily that there's worse teams than them. Then we move on to a goals galore game there, going from side to side. West Ham versus Leeds. Well done to Leeds there, because Leeds, with all their injury problems and COVID, they still could have tried to do the Burnley route of trying to get the game called off and all that stuff. But they actually put kids on the bench there, played some of the kids, even though they picked up 4 injuries in the first half. I think they had 2 injuries in the first 20-something minutes, but they done well. And Harrison to get a hat trick, brilliant from him there still.
And on Rafinha, so every time I see Rafinha, I'm thinking, Ziyech, what are you doing at Chelsea?
There you go. And then quickly we're gonna we'll talk about quickly about COVID outbreak and how the Premier League is actually dealing with it, because we've got a few minutes left of this episode. So we'll talk about
that's over 20. That's over 20 games cancelled, right?
Well, there you go. And that's not enough. You look at the other European leagues; they've not even got close to a quarter of this. But Arsenal, I don't blame Arsenal. Arsenal only had one case.
Don't mention
We have to
Arsenal.
mention it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming the Premier League. But Arsenal only had one COVID case there, and then they're talking about Arsenal loaned 2 players out in them, Maitland Miles and then Balogun or whatever, and then now they're talking about they haven't got enough players, but you're loaning players out. And then you're talking about African nations, African nations and injuries.
That is speculation, though. Hold on a second. When Spurs
which one's speculation?
Hold on a second. When Spurs called the game off, nobody questioned if how many players had COVID. When Man United said the whole team, the coaching staff, training ground was closed,
the training ground was closed.
Hold on a second. No one said blah 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 who had COVID. Now Arsenal, just because we don't close our training ground, if we got COVID, we got COVID. Leave us that. If everyone's doing it, Burnley doing it, leave us that.
For me, I don't blame Arsenal. I'm not blaming Arsenal. I'm blaming the Prem. I mean the Premier League. For me, you know, Burnley said they postponed another game. Yeah, another game. Burnley's only played 17 games compared to some Premiership teams. They don't want
to get relegated.
They're gonna be relegated anyway because they're gonna be playing 3 or 4 games a week.
Exactly. And they've lost their striker as well. They've lost their striker as well, so they can go down.
And they had their under 20. Well, they had their under 23 team play today. Why didn't they have half of those players added to the first team?
Hold on, AY, wait, seriously, just hold on a second. AY, did you say you don't like them? You don't like their kit?
Yeah.
I don't like their kit either. I want them out too.
That's why I'm following what you said.
Well, there you go.
I don't like their kit. Get out.
What I want to say is that subscribers or people that view our episodes, you should let us know your views on what's happening with COVID outbreaks and postponements and the view of the premise. Is the Premier League doing the right thing or not doing the right thing? Just and other stuff. Give us stuff that you want us to talk about more on the show there.
Yeah, guys.
Most importantly, you subscribers, you are the ones that can make our show bigger. The 3 of us, myself, CIC, Grand Champ, A40, we're trying our best there to try and bring this football tussle brighter and bigger. But we can't do that by ourselves. We need you to show your support by watching and subscribing and passing on the message.
Subscribers, please subscribe, please. Yeah?
Yes.
Subscribe.
And not only subscribe, also watch. When you're subscribing, watch. Because we're trying our best there still.
It's true.
We take our time to try and bring entertaining, informative product on football there. And then once again, we that's what we try and do. But we'll see how it goes. We got Carabao Cup second leg coming up there. We'll see how that goes there. I'm hoping for Liverpool.
Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. It's just for the love of the football and
the game will get.
So comment.
The game will get postponed.
And subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that episode there. CIC out, Grand Champ, and A40.
Good night, guys.
So yes, good night.
All right, cool. Bye.